How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Trades and Grades YouTube channel. I am Noah Wright, and we are about to do a live rookie mock draft here on the channel. If you guys ever want to get into a live rookie mock draft, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'll put it down in the comments. And follow us here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe, like this video, and look in the community tab. We're always posting when we're going to be doing mock drafts, whether it's startup mock drafts. We just did one of those, a rookie mock draft. We're just doing them all the time. So for the next couple of months, we're going to be doing more and more. So be on the lookout for that. So let's get this thing going. We already have a whole room full of people here. They're ready to go. They're ready to draft. So let's get into it. We're going live here on the channel. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. So we're going to go ahead and start this up. It is a super flex tight end premium mock draft. It is 3 rounds, 2 minutes per pick. And let's see who's going here at the 1-1. Now, I can pretty much imagine. I think everyone can pretty much imagine who's going to be going here. And there he goes off the board, Bijan Robinson. Pretty common. I don't think I've seen anyone take a quarterback yet. And we probably won't see much of a mix-up until maybe after the combine. Maybe something will go wrong with Bijan, and people will see something on the quarterbacks. But this is a reminder. This is super flex and tight end premium. So quarterbacks are usually pretty high up there on the board just because they're worth so much in super flex leagues. Let's see here. We have 5 people in the chat so far, guys. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Put some comments in what you guys think of these picks. Going Jaxon Smith-Njigba 2. You guys think that's too early to go Jaxon Smith-Njigba 2 in a super flex draft over both these quarterbacks that are at the top? Maybe. I don't know. I'm surprised he's going that high. I thought he'd be falling down the draft boards. But it seems like people have kind of disregarded this past year, and they're taking the good value pick, in my opinion, generally speaking. But that might be a little high. I think that's probably a little high for Superflex draft. What do you guys think? All right, here. I've been trying to go to different spots every time, just mix it up and see where we're at. Doesn't seem like very many people like to go towards the end of these drafts, so. Oh, Anthony Richardson going ahead of Will Levis. They're at the 1-7. We got Jared on here. Thanks, Jared, for hopping on. First I've seen in Superflex that high for Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I agree. That was pretty high, even though I love him a lot. So here we are, the 109. And I feel like it's a pretty obvious pick as of right now. It's, again, super flex draft. And, you got to go quarterback, in my opinion. We took Will Levis in the last draft, I believe, the 106. And I'm not a huge Will Levis fan. He's got some question marks for sure, but, value's just too good there to not be picking him at the 109. If he gets the draft capital, if he goes top 10, that we're we got a comment from the sleeper chat. The Richardson pick was for the Noah. Wow. Thank you. That made me wow. I think Kayshon Boutte there at the 110. I'm surprised he's going in the first there over guys like Zach Evans, Sean Tucker, even Michael Mayer there. Or Mayer. I get those mixed up all the time. I'm going to say that all offseason long. I'm going to get that wrong. Mayer. All right. Let's see what we got going here. What do you guys think? Zach Evans or Sean Tucker right now? You guys have a preference on what you guys believe is the right pick there? They're very close. There's another guy that hasn't gone off the board, which I will not get, so I might as well go ahead and say it. But I can see Charbonnet going there as well. Those guys are pretty close for me until we get to the combine and the draft capital. I think that'll be a big help to see where these guys are going to be able to land. Yeah, I agree. That is, Kayshon Boutte. Look at the sleeper chat here. That is the highest I've seen him go in any draft so far. So I'm not sure that I personally would go that high, but he certainly has that upside. He was there his freshman year. Had a kind of breakout year, and then after that, just the injuries, freak injury coming back from that. He looked just lethargic this year. Looked overweight, to be honest with you. Just sluggish coming out of the slot. And I don't know. Weird situation down there. I think hypothetically, you could say this is the George Pickens of the 2023 draft, right? It's just a guy who had a good freshman year, had injuries, just didn't show up for the last couple of years of college. Maybe an offense that wasn't spectacular to show him off, even though, Malik Neighbors was wide receiver there at LSU that was kind of outproducing him. So I think that a healthy offseason and good testing will really help Kayshon Boutte. I think that's what he needs if he wants to continue to, have that good draft capital. So we go down the board here in the second round, and we got Kendre Miller going off there, the 2-2. Love that pick. We got Zach Charbonnet going there at 2-3. Devin Achane, that's going to be a guy we're going to be really interested in and trying to figure out where he's going to land. It's so tough to figure it out because of the size. I don't really know what success Achane's going to be able to have at the next level. But he is just a freak athlete, to be honest with you, especially when he gets the ball in open space. Now, here we go. We're pause that for a second. We're going to go up here at the 209. Who do we want to pick here? I mean, really, this is just far too late for a guy that I feel like has really high upside. Could be a bust, but you're swinging for upside here in this end of the second, right? We're not trying to find any floors by any means. So go ahead and pick Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. Had a fantastic year, breakout year, pretty much unheard of. A very Jameson Williams-like, breakout as we looked at last year. Jameson Williams had done nothing essentially for the first 2 years, and then last year's popped onto the scene. They got picked very high in the draft. Of course, he's coming off the ACL, so didn't get to see very much of him this year. But this is a guy in Hyatt that we just, I try to make sure that I don't have any preconceived notions of players because we already knew the class more or less coming in, especially if you play Devy, and then Hyatt just comes on the scene, and it's you almost want to just kind of like blow them off, but you can't have those preconceived notions. Like I said, you just gotta look at each player independently, and hopefully you can figure out what the right move is. Okay, so we had Tank. Here we go. Josh Downs here at 205. Great pick there. Going pretty late. I think that's a fantastic pick. And Zay Flowers, I know, has gotten a lot of steam here at 207. He's been gaining a lot of traction. Rashee Rice, that's I don't want to say it's high, but I'd definitely be picking Hyatt over him as of right now. Deuce Vaughn, he's got some interesting. He has positives, and we'll get into that when we do our rookie prospects, but it's just the odds of a guy like Vaughn or A-Chain becoming fantasy relevant running back one material is just super, super, super slim. And, we'll go over that later this offseason, but it's tough. You got to swing for upside. I get that, but I don't know. That's tough. Here's a guy that also I feel like it's kind of under the radar for most people, but that is somebody to be looking at in your third round, apparently, is Israel. And I'm gonna botch this until I start watching more Pittsburgh games because I haven't watched his tape yet. But Abanaconda, and you can go ahead and make fun of me for that pronunciation, however bad that was. But that's a guy to be looking at in your rookie drafts in the third round. Solid production out of Pittsburgh, and he has pretty good measurables as well. So we'll go into that further detail later. Emiliano in the chat, thanks for commenting. I have the 101, but I don't know if I should take Bijan with the team construction I have. Here's how I feel about the 101. I've seen a lot of commentary on this. It like you said, it all depends on team construction, and what is Bijan even going to be worth anything to you on your team, or is he just going to be like the shiny toy, the meme of the super nice race car in a terrible like looking garage and with a terrible looking house, right? Just like it's a nice toy to look at, but is he really going to be helping your team all that much? Sure, but you're probably not going to be winning, right? So I think it all depends on what kind of league you're in, how deep the rosters are, how deep the starting lineups are, and how quickly you can contend. And obviously what the going rate is for your league as well. That's extremely important to figure out what can I get for Bijan Robinson right now. And it's league dependent. So I would say, if Emiliano, you can go ahead and message me on Twitter. Like I said, I'll put it down in the comments whenever we post this video. But yeah, and just DM me if you want. I'll answer any questions you have on your roster, but that goes for anybody else. But yeah, it's tough to say without knowing your roster for sure. So here we are, 3rd round, 9th pick. And this is almost just set up too easy for me. Now, if you guys don't already know, if you haven't been on the, watching the channel much, I'm a huge University of Illinois Fighting Illini fan, right? Born in Champaign, huge Illini fan. So we're going to go ahead and pick Chase Brown. Been watching him for years. Really good running back. Got to be taking him over guys like, in my opinion, Eric Gray, Kenny McIntosh, Muhammad Ibrahim. Really good guys, but Ibrahim is at least as old with an injury history. Kenny McIntosh could be somewhat successful at the next level, but he's more of a gadgety guy. Haven't watched a lot of Gray yet, but that, at this point, there's just nobody else that I really enjoy here. But let's take a look at this 3rd round here because we kind of went off on a tangent there. But so you got Dalton Kincaid going almost over a full round after my Mayer. Man. And to be honest with you, Kincaid's a lot closer than I think people think to Mayer. And I think this is a guy we want to be looking at all offseason to try and get. If we get him in the 3rd round, early 3rd round, we're doing that all day long. The 3rd round, in my opinion, is really made for getting those tight ends and stash them. You want to stash as many as you can because you never know who's going to come out of where. Even the best tight end prospects don't always succeed. So I think that in the 3rd round, 4th round, that's where you just want to do the dart throws and try to get those tight ends. I love the Kincaid pick right there. Darnell Washington, I don't know what he's going to look like. I'm worried he's going to be more of a blocker than he is anything fantasy relevant. He's huge. Humongous man. But I don't know if he's going to be fantasy relevant at all. Then you have Cedric Tillman in there. Hopefully upside pick, a little bit older prospect. Had pretty good production there at Tennessee with Hyatt. And then we go down the list here. Like I said, we talked about some of those running backs in the 3rd round. Kraft. Yeah, that's an interesting pick there at the very last there in the 12th pick. Tucker Kraft, somebody to be looking at, another tight end, like we're talking about with those dart throws. Aaron saying, I think I won that from the 103. CJ Stroud, Zach Charbonnet, Cedric Tillman. I feel like that is a really solid draft right there. It's the latest I've seen Charbonnet go. It's a great value pick. You get CJ Stroud, arguably the QB1 in this class. I think he's maybe the most pro ready in terms of he's got the height, he's got the weight, he's got everything that you'd want measurable wise. And I feel like he can make the throws that he needs to make at the next level. I'm not going to be trying to evaluate any quarterbacks by any means. And you'll hear me say that over the course of this offseason. I'm not going to be making any videos about any quarterbacks because it's almost impossible, right? Even the best evaluators and scouts get quarterbacks wrong all the time. You look at latest Zach Wilson, right? Getting picked in the top 5 and it's number 2, right? And it's just, there's no way for me to even have a chance really. And I'm not a scout by any means. So we're just looking at previous hit rates, right? What are the odds that we can get so-and-so player to be a quarterback 1, a wide receiver 1, running back 1, and then what do we see on film, and try and look at previous things that would give us a boost as well. So like draft capital, production, breakout rates, all that good stuff. So we're not going to be trying to predict, who's going to be the best quarterback until we see the draft. And then from there, we can hopefully figure it out. But as of right now, it looks like CJ Stroud's probably I don't know. I have him as my quarterback one, but again, we'll see what the draft does. We have pick Charbonnet there, and then Cedric Tillman's a nice value pick as well. I think that was a pretty good draft for Aaron. I like my draft quite a bit too. Getting Will Levis there at the 109. It's the farthest I've seen him fall yet so far. Hyatt there, 209, probably the farthest I've seen him fall. And Chase Brown, I like a Illini fan. It's always a good day to get an Illini player. But I think that is all I have, guys. Thank you for watching this. Like I said, I'll be doing more of these every single week. It's pretty simple. We hop on, we get guys in the chat, and then we draft some rookies. We just did a startup draft as well, so we'll be doing some startup drafts. Again, if you guys like doing drafts, but you don't want to commit to being in an actual league, mock drafts are the perfect way to go about it, because you get a mock, you get to see what the values are. The best part of Dynasty and really all fantasy football is drafting. So you got to get in there. You got to do that. But you don't have to worry about actually having to deal with your Dynasty team. And so if you guys ever want to do that, again, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Noah R, letter R, right. And I will post the links anytime we have them. We'll post them here in the chat. So again, thank you guys for watching. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.